This is Mario with MIA Microflight, and today is January the 5th, 2024. I have been working on this track for, it's got multiple applications. I actually started with a track so that I could run these radio control mini or micro cars without having to put too much effort on the steering because it has these short side walls. It's able to keep the car in or on the track, so you can essentially run two cars, have a race. This is the straight section. I have some curves and some other shapes that I'm printing as we speak. This is the first take. It came out pretty nice. This is based on the my other thin track that's done for the for those wood train track models, locomotives such as this one right here. And so the size is pretty much the same. What I did on this one is I widened the intersection here so that it's able to take wider wheels, or a car with a wider wheel-to-wheel width. And so that's what you're seeing here. But I just wanted to capture this on video and just show what I've been working on lately. So this is, you can essentially run these little cars right on the track, even as you are running your radio control little car on the side and just going around, and whichever way you set up the track. I will show you what my track looks like on CAD in just a minute. Okay, so this is the actual track that I've been playing around with, just trying to lay out some interesting pattern here using a 48 by 96 panel. This could be a plywood panel, it could be pretty much anything, foam board, whatever, but it's 4 foot by 8 foot in dimensions for the table. And as you can see, these are the parts that I just showed in a little while ago. One of the straights, I'm printing the curves right now. And just to keep it simple, I started doing the basically what I did is I took my track, the orange track, which is this track right here, which is a little bit thicker and it's a little more narrower in terms of width of the track itself. This is for those little trains that kids play with, and I did this for my son, my grandson. This particular track I did for him, and I did some other tracks also, the much thicker ones that are very similar to the wooden ones for the layout that you'll see in some other videos that I have on my YouTube channel. But this is the this one right here, the gray one that I just showed a little while ago, is based on that orange one, but much thinner. You can see this is much thinner, and even the connectors are thinner. So this is a very thin plate, pretty rigid for for what it is. And I think it also has to do with the type of filament that I'm using. This is a PLA from Anycubic, which I like. I like Anycubic PLAs, and I try to be consistent with the manufacturer of the printer itself. I use Anycubic i3 Megas. So many of you already know, if you've been watching my videos, I use Anycubic strictly for making products, parts for my products that I sell via my website. And so that's how I did this track right here. So I eliminated a lot of work because all I did is take these tracks right here, the thicker ones, and I just made them thinner. And I had to do a little bit of a clean up work, especially when you do a secondary track, which has to be a tighter radius. And so I had to massage this inner track to make it a double track. And so these are double tracks instead of being one. And I did this so that it's easier to connect. And you can I can essentially run this in any pattern as you see here. So this is a one layout. I mean, I have several layouts that I did sketches just on paper, rough sketches, and as I typically like to do, I like to sketch things on paper and then come back to the computer and then do the final layout. But this is coming out. There are a bit of there are some areas here that need matching, and I think it's because I have to resize or create some different sizes in these straights, so that it allow me to connect this with a little more fluidity and just a little more precise here. As you can see here, this is a little bit of offset horizontally and vertically here, and so I need to make those adjustments by either increasing one of these lengths here. This is a 6-inch length. This is an 8-inch. Most of my straights are 8, 6, 4. I even have some 3s and 2s, just as you see it here. When I did this track, this is, I believe, a 8. I have a 6. No, I don't think I did a 6 here. I did an 8, a 4, a 3, and a 2, and then the curves are just they're just a quarter of curve. So 2 of these actually make a 45. 2 of these curves right here, as you see it here. So you know that's a half 1/4 of a curve or a round, and so this is actually 1/8. You know, this dual section right here. But anyway, and here's a bridge that I did for the trains, those little toy trains, and this is based on one that I downloaded from Thingiverse, but I modified it so that I can have these details here that looks like a brickwork here, and I also modified this shape so that it can be slotted, and just makes it a lot easier to print and a lot lighter, and it just saves on material. So anyway, this is my track right here, this little track that I've been working on lately to run radio control. Those mini turbo cars that everybody has been running in the past since they first came out. Of course, I've had these little cars. This is actually one from Radio Shack. If my camera focuses on there, you'll see Radio Shack this, and I bought this when Radio Shack was still around. So these cars are, I don't know, maybe 10, even more years old. And so what I've done to some of these cars is, as you can see, I put this little connector here. I pulled the nickel metal hydride batteries that these typically came with. I took those out, those long, wore out, and I replaced them with a single LiPo, just a single cell 200, 300 milliamp hour battery, and I just mount that on top with a sticky back or a pad or just a rubber band, and that's how I've been running these little cars. These these also have not truly proportional steering, but they do have a servo with the motors, cordless motors. These little tiny cordless motors. The rear also runs on a cordless motor with gears, and so does the steering. It's got some gear setup here, so it's not truly a true proportional servo, but it does give you a much better control than just the bang bang, like the cheapy toy grade toys. And so I'm able to run this in very confined places, very similar to those mini turbo little cars that came out about 3 years ago, I believe. The Mini Coopers and that sort of in that scale, 176 scale. So I think this is around 176 scale. So that's the reason why I did this track here, because I've been really looking at those Mini Coopers. I am going to get a couple of them, with the controls. They're about $80, $90. I was trying to save myself the cost of buying those and went back to these, but this is old technology. This still uses the 49 and 27 megahertz frequencies, as opposed to today, everything is 2.4 for hobby grade control. So I am going to upgrade these, but in the meantime, I've been playing with this and just to size up this track, which is very similar to the ones that I'm going to be getting, those mini turbo 176 racers. So anyway, this is Mario once again with the Maya Microflight. This is just another track that I've been working on.